Hello and welcome to the live demo of YouTrack Essentials for System and Project Administrators. I'm Lena, the YouTrack Product Marketing Lead, and I'm happy to introduce Anastasia, our YouTrack Technical Support Lead. And today, based on years of experience of helping our customers to have we have chosen the most popular scenarios to show you today, and we hope that this will help administrators of most teams to get on board with YouTrack or to enrich the experience for your users. And when I'm saying the most popular scenarios, I'm having in mind 45,000 teams in the world, and these teams are currently using YouTrack every day to work effectively. And we are going to show you how their system and project administrators work. You are probably a part of one of those teams who are looking for an agile tool. And by agile, I mean flexible enough to follow your business process. We'll try to show you today the flexibility you as YouTrack administrator may offer to any of your teams, starting from software development departments and then to quality assurance, data insight, web and design, marketing, web development, product management, human resources, administrative teams, management board members, and executive officers. And don't worry, you don't necessarily need to be a professional in IT administration to get started with YouTrack successfully. Please stay with us and we will guide you through the basic things to the advanced settings. And as a cherry on top today, at the end of our demo, we are planning to show you a sneak peek of new YouTrack Lite, a new interface designed for any team of any and any member of any team to boost your productivity with YouTrack. It's going to be released in 2020, and you are going to be the first who are seeing this preview now. If you haven't tried YouTrack yet, the best way to do it is checking out our free version on jetbrains.com/YouTrack. And our free version is available for any team of up to 10 users. It includes full functionality, and you are able to choose between in-cloud or standalone version. And in cloud version, you are getting the 30 gigabyte of disk space for free. Today we will show you the English interface of YouTrack, but it is also localized to several languages, so you or any of your team members may choose the language you prefer. And for YouTrack news, and of course for YouTrack Lite release news, please follow us on Twitter and stay tuned. Our event is being recorded, so you may watch the recording on our YouTube channel and share it with your team members afterwards. And if you have any questions, please use the YouTube chat window. We'll try to answer all of them or most of them at the end of our session. And actually, that's all for the introduction. During the demo, please feel free to ask your questions and stay with us. Let's go, Anastasia, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Elena, thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the demonstration of YouTrack, our project management tool. And today I will show you a demo of 4 different scenarios. And we will cover 4 of them, from the most simplest one to the most advanced one, to show how different teams use YouTrack. The first scenario will cover the most simple project that use a basic set of fields, one lightweight Agile board, some basic user access basics, and we believe that this project is perfect for non-technical users because it can be configured in almost no time and started to be used. The second scenario will cover a more tricky configuration that will suit for development teams, because it uses time tracking, it follows Scrum process, and it uses external integrations with some development tools like version control systems. And I will show you how to configure your custom fields, how to automate your routing process, and how you can use Agile Boards to provide 2 visions of the same project. The first scenario will cover helpdesk configuration. That is one of the most popular configurations among our users. That is why we decided to cover it today. And it will show us how unregistered users can create issues and requests without even having to log in to YouTrack and receive replies back. And the last but not the least, we'll cover management and executive scenarios, and we'll see how YouTrack can help with its agile boards, reports, and dashboards to get a helicopter view of what is going on in the project, and if there are any areas that requires immediate attention. Okay, so in YouTrack, we use issues. Issue is kind of basic entity in YouTrack, and an issue may represent some global initiative or just a minor task. And issues belong to projects, where project is a container with some common settings like fields or integrations or automations, and each issue inherits its project settings. Besides that, we have users, and it is possible to manage user access using different roles with different level of access, and users can be organized in groups to simplify managing this access. Of course, users can be notified about changes in YouTrack and in their issues, and by default, notifications are enabled and configured for you in all in-cloud instances. Okay, so now let's imagine that I am a system administrator in our YouTrack, and besides that, I'm also a project administrator of several projects. And my task would be to migrate several teams to YouTrack, to configure projects for them, and to provide ready-to-use configurations for them so they can take it over, start using it, and reconfigure it if needed. So let's go. On the screen, you see a knowledge base with the agenda I wrote for you. So yeah, we use this knowledge base to share our plans, our public documentations, internal documentations, etc. And you will see it later. Okay, so let's start from the first scenario. As I already said, the first scenario will cover the simple project for our office management team. Actually, a project may represent a whole company or just one department or some initiative. It's you who decide. In our company, each team has its own project. That is why I'm going to create a separate project for the office management team. And I'm going to specify its name, it's office management. And as you can see, there are 3 templates to create your project. Scrum and Kanban template provide some predefined configurations for your project, like additional fields or Agile Boards. But in our case, we don't need any extra settings because we're going to configure a lightweight project. So we are going to go with a default template. Okay, so basically you're almost all set at this point because the project is created. You are now looking at the project page. This is the team, and here our future issues will be displayed. Now let's see what YouTrack created for us by default. Here you can see project settings, the fields tab, and this is a set of very basic fields that are used to describe issues. As you can see, there is nothing extra here, just very standard fields like priorities, types, states. That's the minimum set of fields you need to be able to describe your issues, to filter them, and to sort them. Okay, so of course it is possible to edit this set of values. For example, performance problems don't make sense for the office management team. So I'm removing the values that are not useful for the team, and yeah, I think that this is the set they can use. What is more, the team uses different areas when taking care of the office. For example, they have cleaning area, and they have kitchen tasks, and they have some office facilities requests to solve. So I'm going to create separate values in the subsystem field for them, so the team will be able to assign a subsystem value to each issue and be able to filter their issues and assign a responsible person for all of them, and it will just make their work easier. Okay, so actually we are all set at this point, and now let's take care about the team itself. We have a dedicated users page for that, and okay, the dark theme enabled, but that was unexpected. Let's switch back to the light one. So here you can see all users that we have in our YouTrack, and everyone who is supposed to make changes in YouTrack, like create issues or create projects or read issues, is supposed to have their own user account. So now I'm going to create a user account for my colleague Lena, who is responsible for the office management team. And there are several options. I can specify all the details for her, and she will be able to log in just like that. Or I can enter Lena's email here, and she will receive an invitation from YouTrack with a suggestion to log in and to start using YouTrack. Okay, so let's invite Lena. Here you can see the newly created user account, and Lena will be able to log in and to configure her personal information later. Of course, at this point, Lena is not able to access any issues or projects because by default, no one is granted with any access or roles. For access, we use, in YouTrack, we use roles. Of course, it is possible to configure your YouTrack so your users will be granted with some roles by default, but that's an additional configuration because we'd like to avoid any data disclosure, and we allow you to configure that according to your project needs and your requirements. So talking about roles, we have a set of predefined roles in YouTrack, and they all have different level of access, from the very basic one, which allows only read issues, to the system administrator who is able to do everything. Of course, it is possible to create custom roles. For example, you just need to specify the role name and then to check permissions you need to define the level of access for this role. As you can see, there is a set of permissions, and they are quite granular. So they are responsible for creating users, deleting users, creating issues, reading issues. So actually, you can create a very unique set of permissions according to what you're going to achieve. I'm going to allow reading articles and their comments for this role. And yeah, I'm all set. As you can see, this role appears in the list that can be used. Let's get back to Lena. As I've already mentioned, she has no access now, so I'm going to make her project administrator in our office management project. And a role can be granted in a project or in several projects, or it can be granted globally. That means that Lena will be able to access issues in all projects in our YouTrack. Okay, so now Lena has access, and at this point, I'm going to make her a project administrator, because a project owner, because she's the one who is going to continue with managing this project. Okay, so while Lena is receiving our invitation letter, let's check what we have, what issues we have in the office management project. In our company, there is a rule that everyone can come to the office management project and create requests or complaints wherever they need, and the office management team will take care of these issues. according to their priorities or their workload, whatever. Yeah, so now on this page, you can see issues that are constantly coming and appearing from our colleagues about the office management issues, and the team can open this page and see what they have to work on. But of course, it's not very convenient to check these issues on this page because, as I already mentioned, they have different areas and they'd like to filter issues. So I'm going to organize a convenient view for the team so they will be able to track their progress. To do that, I'm navigating to the Agile Boards page and I'm creating a board. As you can see, to create a board, you just need to a board can be created in just no time because all you have to do is to specify its name and the project that will take part in this board. Also, you can specify its visibility. I'm going to make the board public. And we are all set. The board is created and now we can configure it. There are several options of how issues can appear on the board. By default, they can appear on the board or only if they were manually assigned to this board. But that's not very convenient for us because, as you see, issues are constantly appearing, and the team will not be able to assign them manually because they need additional resources for them. So we would like them to appear on the board automatically. There is, as you can see, the issues are now here, and it is possible to filter them. So, for example, I will see only unresolved issues or only high priority issues, but I would like to see all of them here. So here they are. The next step is to filter issues to sort them according to their subsystem, the area of work. As you remember, I have configured a subsystem field for the team. So now I'm going to use it here. And as you can see now, the board has 3 rows, and each row represents a subsystem value. So the team will be able to open the board and to see their issues logically divided by their subsystem. So they will not lose any of them, and they will be able to have a responsible person for each area, for each subsystem, and take care of these issues accordingly. Okay, so now I believe the project is all set and can be used by the team. So Lena, could you please take it over and let me know if everything is okay?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I'm looking forward to all the office management tasks to be processed with YouTrack. So I'm logging into YouTrack since I've got an invitation on a link on my email. So I'm setting up the password and confirming it. And I'm getting right to my profile. I would like to change my name slightly here, and actually that's it. And actually that's me who loves the dark theme. So I'll change it here in my settings. Saving my profile now, and I'm ready to get to the office management team project settings. Just because I was granted the role as a project administrator by Anastasia, I'm able to get to the settings right away. First of all, let's add my team members to the project. So I'm navigating to the team and adding members here. In our company, all the employees are already added to YouTrack as users. So I'm just choosing from the list my team members and adding them to the project. I want to find Monica. Yeah. Adding them to the project, and we are almost all set. As you see, they are granted the role developer by design, and this developer role by default includes all the permissions required for a project member to be part of the project. So I'm not worried about any advanced settings here, except for one thing. I would like to all the members in our project to be an assignees in our issues. So I'm changing that for the team, and we are almost all set. One more thing in the project settings. While I'm looking at the settings, I see that all of them set up by default are working good for our project. And I would like to change again only one thing. It's the default visibility settings. I'm setting the default visibility to Office Management Team, and that means that if any that means that all the issues created by our employees will be automatically set as seen to the Office Management Team only, so we wouldn't allow any unnecessary information disclosure. Saving all the settings, and basically that's it. I'm ready to start to work with our Agile board. Actually, as you see, I'm seeing some tips here. I was new to YouTrack, so I enabled tips for myself, but now I feel that I'm experienced enough, so I'm hiding the tips. But any member of any team anytime can easily turn the tips on back for themselves in these tips for new user settings. And here is our board. It's the Office Management Board, and it's now organized by subsystems. You see clean kitchen and office facilities here, as Anastasia actually set up for us. But for our team, I suppose that the board will be the main tool for us to monitor the tasks, and I would like to see the workload per each team member, actually right here on the board. So I'm going to the board settings and choosing to show assignees as swim lanes on our board. And you remember we call rows on the board as swim lanes in YouTrack. So I'm choosing for swim lanes to be identified by assignee. And let's close the board settings and see that the board is automatically reorganized that way. But thus I can easily assign tasks for my team members by drag and drop cards along the board. And actually, that's a very convenient way for us to work with the tasks for office management. Fine. Also for us as an office management team, knowledge base would be a very useful part of our daily job. We are going to use it to publish. Some company-wide announcements. So let's create one of them. First of all, I would like to have I would like to have the whole section on office announcements, and I would. I'm creating it right now. Let's choose the project, Office Management, for it to be published. And you see that this announcement will be visible to all article readers. And you remember that in our company, basically all employees has article readers, right? So while I'm publishing the article and adding some announcements here, for example, an announcement on our upcoming party. Let's have it this way. I'm publishing. I'm publishing the announcement. Publishing article here, and you see that this is going to be automatically visible to all the team members. And if someone would like to be notified about all the office announcements first, they can start the section and add this article to favorite, and all these company employees will be getting the mail notifications about the new announcements published in our company-wide knowledge base. But also, in my office management project, I would like to have some documents and to store them to be visible only for our team members. So I'm creating one more section, office management internal documentations, and I'm setting the visibility to office management team only. Actually, let's see it. I'm publishing the article, and I can easily add, for example, some sub-articles right here and also publish them. And you see in my project, I already have two sections. One is company-wide available, and the second one is restricted to office management team only. And basically, that's it. We have already started to work with all the office management project, with our office management project, and using the board and knowledge base, it goes along very smoothly. So back to you, Anastasia.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you can reconfigure the project and you're using it so cool. Okay, so now we are moving to our second scenario, and this is about the development team. The development team is much bigger than the office management team, so we will not be able to go just with the project team entity, and this is where user groups can help us. Users can be organized in groups, and to create a group, you just need to enter its name. Groups can be devoted to different activities like developers or support engineers or designers, or they can be devoted to different roles like administrators or external users, whatever you need. So now you just need to pick those users who should be a part of this project team, and here you go. The team is ready now. One important point about the groups is that you can grant groups with roles exactly as you do it with users, and each group member will inherit the very same role. So let's see how it works. I'm going to grant this group with the developer role in the web development project. I have created it beforehand to save you time now, because we already saw how to create a project. And yeah, the role is granted. And now let's check that each member of the group inherits this role. As you can see, yeah, the member of the group inherits the developer role from the developers group in the web development project. This is one of the best practices we always recommend to our users, because your access management should be done in the most transparent and clear way, and groups is the thing that allows you to manage user access like per some communities, not per user, per separate user. So you don't need to check each user to check their access and their roles. You just need to take care of your groups, and usually you have less groups than users. And if you want to change the level of access, it will be much easier to do with the group instead of doing the very same thing with each member of this group. Okay, so now the group is ready, and now let's move to the project itself. As I've already said, I have created the web development project for you beforehand, and let's see the project. This is a list of issues of this project, and we can see what we have in fields here. As you can see, the list is much bigger here because this project was created from Scrum template. Scrum project template cares about development entities for the team, like time tracking entities or some Scrum entities like story points or estimations. And Besides that, the Scrum template creates 2 predefined boards for the team. I will show them later. Okay, so what we have here, the very same set of basic fields like priorities and types. Let's check them. The web development team uses hierarchy in their issue types. For example, epics, they describe the most global initiatives, while epics subtasks, user stories, they describe user behavior or some user expectations, and user story can be split into tasks and bugs, these minor, small tasks and issues that can be done by the development team. Yeah, so besides that, we have an assignee field, and I would like each member of my developers group to be available as an assignee of issues. So I'm going to add the whole group here. As you can see, I don't need to add the members one by one. I can add just the whole group, and all 5 users are in the assignee field now and can be selected, and issues can be assigned to them. Besides that, there are several fields that make sense only in context of specific issue type. For example, story points as a field makes sense only for user stories. That is why I'm going to configure this field to be displayed only if issue type is set to user story. The same story is with fixed versions field. This field makes sense only when we are talking about bugs. So I'm going to display this field only for bugs. And besides that, the team doesn't want to disclose this field value externally. So I'm going to make it visible only for the web development team. Okay, and affected version fields, the same story here. It should be displayed only for bugs and tasks. Okay. Let's see how it works. So this is a list of web development project issues, and I'm navigating to one of them. As you can see, the issue type is set to task. That is why we have the affected version field appeared. Now I'm going to change it to bug. Now the fixed version field appeared, and if I change it to user story, now fixed versions and affected versions disappeared and story points appeared instead. Yeah, okay, so now let's get it back to task and continue with our settings. The next thing to check is time tracking. Time tracking can be enabled in just one click, and it allows development teams or any team to track their time, to estimate their tasks, to suppose how much time the task will take, and to log their spend time when implementing the task itself. All you have to do is to select fields that will store the corresponding values, the estimation value and the spend time value. And when logging a spend time, each user can specify its date, its duration, and its work type. So you can configure the work types yourself. There are a set of predefined work types, and you can add, for example, design, and here it is in the list. So each user will be able to pick the relevant work type from the list when logging their spend time. Later, you will be able to collect time statistics based on this estimation and spend time values. And actually, these values are used to track the team's progress when building the Burndown chart and then planning their sprints. Okay, let's check that these fields appeared in our fields tabs, and here they are. And let's check how the time tracking works. So yeah, I'm refreshing the page, and here are our fields. I'm now able to set the estimation value, and to log the spend time, I can press the corresponding button and specify my name, the date, the duration. It can be like 5 hours, and select the work type. This is my custom created work type. Then I can add some comments if I want to. The logged spend time will appear here in a table view, and other users will be able to log their spend time too if they want to, and after that we will see the overall statistics. Okay, so this was the time tracking part, and now we're moving to configuring external integrations. Let's start from version control system integration. And this integration allows YouTrack to fetch commits and pull requests from version control system and link them to the corresponding issues. That means that all stages of the issue development will be collected in one place, so your teammates will not have to switch between tabs and applications and services to check why an issue is so long in progress. Because you can open the issue page and see that there was, for example, a decline pull request, and there is a work in progress, and it will be done soon. So I have configured the integration beforehand to save our time now, but actually it can be configured in no time. There is a list of available version control systems, and all you have to do is to provide a repository address and to generate a token. That's it. After that, you will see this pop-up that allows you to configure your integration additionally. For example, you can limit the visibility of the VCS changes to some group if you want to. Yeah, so let's check how it works. Okay, so I have a commit here, and I'm going to create a pull request. And to make YouTrack fetch this pull request, I have to specify an issue ID, the issue ID here, and sorry. Yeah, and now I lost the mouse. Okay, here it is. And now I'm ready to create the pull request. Here it is. And let's check that. Yeah, it appears here immediately. So you have a link to the pull request itself from your issue. And now everyone who opens the issue page, they see that there is a work in progress and a pull request is ready to be reviewed or to be merged. And of course, the next step here is to automate the process, because usually when a pull request is merged, that means that the issue is resolved. So of course, it would be cool to avoid these additional clicks and not to change your issue to the resolved state manually, and to let YouTrack do it for you. And it is possible. We have a dedicated feature for that. It's called workflows. A workflow is a set of rules written in JavaScript that allows you to extend YouTrack functionality. And they can do like tons of things, from triggering on some event and changing your field states or adding comments or sending notifications, to triggering on schedule, for example, each Monday or 2 days before your due date, and send you reminders about coming deadlines. The cool thing here is that we have a set of predefined workflows that is provided with each YouTrack. So you don't need no coding required. You can just attach a required workflow to your project and start using it. And of course, it is possible to create your custom workflows to implement the logic that suits your process the best. And this is exactly what I did. I've created a custom workflow which triggers on merging a pull request. And if a pull request is merged, it sets an issue to the to verify state and adding a corresponding commit to it. Let's see how it works. So as you can see, my issue is in open state, and there is a submitted pull request. So now I'm going to merge it, merging my pull request. And let's check. Okay, so as you can see, the pull request is merged. The issue is automatically transferred to the to verify state, and the corresponding comment is added. So yeah, you don't have to perform any additional clicks and to do any routine actions, because it can be done for you by YouTrack. Of course, it can be extended further. For example, YouTrack After changing the state, it can also set assignee to the QA engineer and send them a notification that the issue is ready to be tested, or it can raise its priority, or it can set the due date, or it can limit its visibility, whatever you need. So basically that's it with configuring the project. Yeah, I forgot to mention that the very same thing we did for VCS can be done for build servers. And all you have to do is to select SimCity or Jenkins here and to configure it. And after that, all builds run on your build server will automatically resolve your issues and, for example, create release notes for you. Okay, so yeah, the project is all set. Now let's check. Let's check what we have here. These are issues of the web development project, and as I've already mentioned, the team uses hierarchy in their issue types, and you can see that I will collapse it to make it more. To make it so you could see it. So epics, they describe the most global tasks like some initiatives or some big parts of work. And epics are split into user stories that describe some user behavior or user expectations or what a user expects to see. And in their turn, user stories can be split into tasks and bugs. So you can see the structure as a tree view on the issue list. But YouTrack prepared 2 Agile boards for the team, so they could see their issues in 2 different views, from the management perspective and from the development perspective, and track their progress and plan their Scrum activities. Let's check. So as I've said, there are 2 boards. The first one is management one, and it is organized as follows. The rows are represented by epics here. So these are our global initiatives, and the cards are identified by user stories. So the management team can see their user stories organized in epics, in logically divided by their purpose, and they can plan some roadmaps or projects and track the global progress by checking the state of these user stories. Of course, it is possible to see the split tasks here as a list if needed, but usually the management team don't need to dig deeper into the details. And the second board is the development one, and this board is used by the development team mostly, and it is organized in a similar way. But rows are represented by user stories here, while cards are represented by tasks and bugs. So the development team can see their issues logically divided by user stories, and they can track the progress of each user story separately, and they can take their tasks and move them between columns, track their progress, plan their sprints. And this is where I'm going to ask Lena to show us all the magic they do with this board and how they plan their sprints and organize their Scrum work.
That is great. As you see, I'm logging in as a Scrum Master and thus a project manager for our web development project. And I'm looking at our web development board. First of all, let's create a sprint for the team to work on. You can do this from this menu or under the Create button. So let's choose to create a sprint. This is going to be our first sprint in this year. So I name it like first sprint, and let's schedule the dates. Our team is using 2-week sprints, so I'm setting I'm setting the dates for the sprint, and also. If it will be our next sprint, I'm able to choose to move any tasks from one sprint to another in the same dialog, and thus there was no sprints before. At that moment, I'm going to choose and to add all the unresolved issues from on schedule to our sprint. Also, I'm going to apply this comment silently. So I'm going to create sprint without notification, and that means that all the tasks will be assigned to a sprint without notifying anyone who followed the tasks, because it's just a minor technical change for us. So I'm creating the sprint without notification, and you see we have a new sprint created. Anytime while working on a sprint, I can open the backlog here, and the backlog is basically represented by some saved search. For our team, we are saving the tasks that are going to the web development backlog in a saved search called accordingly. And you see tasks here. I can move them to change, to rearrange, and to change the order, or I can add the task to the. I can add any task to a sprint right from here, clicking on the button, but actually, if I have some issues with this, I can ask my system administrator to provide me with some additional rights to update the sprint. So I can add some, So I can add some tasks to the sprints. You see, I can drag and drop the cards, and you see the sprint field is updated right here. The same way, I can choose to get the task back to the backlog, and it's removed from the board, or I can choose to update the task and, for example, delete the sprint from the task settings, and you see that it is also went to the backlog and deleted from cleared from the board. Okay, that's it for the backlog for now. And let's imagine we with the team are working on the tasks, and some of them are going to. Oh no, not yet. Actually, not yet. First of all, I would like to start the sprint, so the system would calculate the time estimations for us. So I'm clicking start the sprint, and because I'm going to look at the Burndown chart while we are working on sprint. And now let's imagine we are working on a sprint and moving some tasks in a down state, and changing the states, and fixing the tasks in some way. And anytime along the sprint, I can check the Burndown chart, and the burned out chart for us shows the ideal burn down and some estimations estimates based on ideal situation calculations, and also it shows us the real picture and the calculated remaining effort for the sprint, and it shows us if we ahead or behind the schedule, and it's going to be updated anytime I'm opening. And what else? Actually, for our Scrum team, this is going to be the two main tools to manage our daily workload: the boards, the development board, and the tracking the progress on the Burndown chart. So thanks to our brilliant system administrator, Anastasia, we are working cool on our Scrum project. And back to you, Nastya, while I'm enjoying playing with sprints here.
Yeah, cool. It's really great how you use these boards to track your progress. But actually, as far as I know, your team also would like to help not only the internal users but external users too. And you would like to keep all these requests in one place. And of course, it's not reasonable to create a user account for every external user, because sometimes they just need to ask once, and that's it. And this is where Helpdesk can help us. And the main idea is the following. our unregistered external users, they send an email to specified email address, and YouTrack monitors this inbox and converts these emails into issues where our support team will be able to reply to these issues as comments, and these comments will be sent to the external users back as notifications. How YouTrack can do it? There are two main features that take part in the Helpdesk configuration. The first one is workflows, and these workflows are responsible for collecting email addresses and storing them into corresponding fields, and for sending the notifications back. The second part is Mailbox integration, and it is responsible for monitoring the inbox and converting emails into issues. Let's see how it works. First of all, we need to attach a corresponding workflow to our project. Of course, it is provided by default with YouTrack, so no coding required from your side. And it consists of two rules. The first one is responsible for collecting email addresses and storing them in corresponding fields. And as you can see, YouTrack complains that it doesn't have the corresponding field yet. And it suggests us to create these fields automatically, and let's do it. So yeah, just 2 clicks and the configuration is ready. And the second rule is responsible for sending our support team comments back as notifications to our external users. Yeah, so the workflow is ready. And yeah, one thing I'd like to mention here is that by default, this workflow sends notifications back only about new comments. But of course, if you want to send them about all changes, you can configure it here by additional line of code. Now let's move to the second part of our configuration, the Mailbox integration. Okay, so I have configured it beforehand, and I will show you the main parts here. So I'm selecting the project that will where new issues will be created in, and also I have to set a user that will be set as reporter of issues, because our external users, they don't have accounts, so they can be set as reporters, and we have a dedicated service user for that. And one of the most important parts of configuration is applying logic to newly created issues. This command will store the reporter email address into the last message related emails field. As you remembered, we created it when attaching a workflow. And one more thing I'd like to do is to mark all issues created from emails with a tag, with a support tag. So the support team will be able to filter these issues and not to lose them among other tasks, and to react in timely manner to them. Yeah, so that's it. I'm saving the configuration. And now our external users can send their emails, and we will receive their issues, and we'll help them. Lena, could you please send an email to our address so we could see how it works?
Yeah, I do have a question to ask, so I'm sending it right now your way.
Yeah, cool, thank you. And while we are waiting Lena's email to be fetched, let's see how we can help our external users to find their answers even without pinging us and sending any emails. The best way to do it is to organize a public knowledge base. So the users will be able to surf through it and to search for their questions and to see if we already have an answer for them. But as you remember, our users, they don't have user accounts. So to access this public knowledge base, we need to allow anonymous access on our YouTrack instance. So I'll show you how it can be done. There is a dedicated guest account that is responsible for anonymous access, and it is blocked by default. so that no external users can access any of your internal data. But I'm going to unblock it. Yeah, and now everyone who has our YouTrack address can access YouTrack according to guest permissions. At the moment, there are no roles, no permissions. So at this point, no external user can access any of our data. But we'd like to grant them knowledge base access and knowledge base access in a specific project. As you remember, I've created an article reader role in the beginning of the demonstration. And I'm granting this role in the web development project. So now our external users will be able to open our YouTrack page and surf through our public knowledge base and check if we have already answered their questions, and maybe they don't need even to create a request. Also, I'd like to show you how our support team can monitor incoming support requests. For example, they can create a widget on the dashboard. This widget will filter all issues that have the support tag. As you remembered, when configuring the Mailbox integration, I have marked all incoming issues with a support tag. So we will see them here. And yeah, here it is. Our first support request came. Let's open it and check what went wrong and if any help is needed. Okay, so I feel I need some additional details here. So hello, could you please elaborate a bit? And I'm adding this comment, and now workflow will send this comment as a notification back to the user. As you can see, the email is stored here. Yeah, so Lena will receive our reply and will provide us with some more details. Lena, could you please now show us how it looks from your side and if you were able to find any answers in our knowledge base?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you see, so now I'm logging in as a guest because I do have an option like this in the interface, and I'm going right to the knowledge base. Even as a guest, I have an access to the company public knowledge base. Let's check some frequently asked questions here. As you see, I can see all the questions and articles and comments. If somebody, I don't feel I see any answers to my question, so I'm trying to use, for example, full text search. Let's look for some license. So some license questions. There are suggestions, but I want to see all the mentions and I see all the articles, including the license questions, but there are still no answers to my question. So I'm checking my email, and yeah, you see that in my mailbox, the answer to my support request came, and despite it's being sent for YouTrack, I'm seeing it's like a simple answer to my mail, and can I easily reply back. For example, I can ask for a phone call and send my answer, and hopefully the support team will be getting my answer right away. So this was a very convenient experience, Anastasia. Let's see what else you have got for us.
Yeah, great to hear that. Yeah, I have something, and actually I'm going to share my screen at first. Actually, now I'm going to leave this support ticket to our support team, and I'm sure they will handle it in a perfect way, and all problems will be resolved. And now we are moving to our fourth scenario, and this is how YouTrack can help you, the executive team members and management team to get a helicopter overview of what is going on in their project and if any areas require some immediate attention. Okay, so first of all, the first feature I'd like to show you is Agile Boards. And of course, not only one project can take part in the boards. You can specify as many projects as you need. As you can see, there are 3 of them. And this is extremely useful if you need to organize a collaborative work of multiple teams and to complete some common tasks together. As you can see, here we have issues. Issues organized under one global initiative, and there are issues from different multiple projects collected here. And it is very convenient to see everything collected in one place to check the progress and to see if any team need additional help or additional resources, and if we are on track, and if there are any blockers, whatever. Yeah, so another feature I'd like to show you is reports. And you can do different stuff here from planning your projects using the Gantt chart, which can consider your capacity or some limitations or possible start dates or deadlines, and predict the project finish date here, to some statistics reports. For example, you can see number of overdue issues per assignee, per your team member, or you can collect some time statistics that is based on time tracking values I showed earlier. And it is possible to view these reports per different modes, in different modes, like per user, per piece of work, per project. And of course, it is possible to export it to CSV or Excel if needed to use it further. And you may wonder if there is a page to collect all these metrics in one place, and here it is, the dashboard. You can add various widgets here, and the widget may represent an issue list or a calendar or team activity or sometimes statistics, whatever you need, or a report. And this is a great option to see what is going on in your project, because all key metrics are collected here in one place, and you don't need to switch between tabs or between projects or between different services, because everything is here. And it's even possible to create your own custom widgets that will fetch information from some third-party tools. Yeah, and another option of using your dashboard is as a landing page for your external users, for the Helpdesk scenario, because dashboard is the first page they see, and you can add some widgets about your team here, or about your current tasks, or about your roadmap, wherever you feel like sharing with your external users to get them familiar with you. So yeah, I believe that's it. We have showed you 4 scenarios that describe some popular configurations of YouTrack. But of course, that's not it, because it's not possible to show every scenario, every process, because every team is unique and everyone has their own features or process, some process points that they want to follow. That is why we believe that it is possible to configure YouTrack to any process, so you don't need to change anything in your daily life, because YouTrack will adjust to it and will be happy to help you in your daily tasks. And now we're moving to our bonus track, our YouTrack Lite interface. Lena, could you please take it over and show us the magic?
Yeah, of course. I'm glad to show you the cherry on top of our demo today. A sneak peek at our feature, which is going to be available this year in the coming major release. And YouTrack Lite is is a new version of YouTrack user interface designed for any member or for any team who needs a bird's-eye view on the issues in hand. And YouTrack Lite is available to any user as an alternative to YouTrack Classic, and any user may switch back and forth anytime they need this, like as I did right away. We hope that YouTrack Lite will be popular with actually with new users and also with non-technical teams at your companies. And in global settings, any system administrator can choose for the team their interface. They want to land the new users, so you can choose to use YouTrack Lite as default for a new user, and also you can choose to show the dialog, the tip for selecting between Classic and Lite UI, the way I just did. So okay, let's get to it. I'm choosing YouTrack Lite, and I'm looking at the issues in hand, and let's check how experience of working with issues is redesigned in YouTrack Lite. First of all, I might choose the simplest view, so I'm hiding all the safe searches, and I'm choosing the simplest view for the issues to be represented as a simple to-do list. And easy to follow. From here, I may see the issue quick preview right in the same window. I may go through the issues one by one, or select some project and use the filter. Use the filter here and see the project in hand. Also, I can close the quick view and choose to use the table view for a list of issues. For example, I can choose the fields to be able to be added to my table. Let's, for example, add the SNE field to the table, and creation date, and okay, let's also have state here. And you see, all issues are represented in an easy to filter table view. You can use the filters here, or you can switch to the common query line and use the queries you get used to in the YouTrack Classic here. Also, in the issues, if I'm opening the issue here, I can choose to use the handy text styling editor, WYSIWYG editor, the same one we have in articles now in knowledge base, and I can choose to style my text as I want to. Okay, let's create a list, for example, here. Something like this, and I'm editing the comments and issue descriptions as an article, and as articles do. And let's check how it works in articles, almost the same way. And as you see, the main thing here is that you see all the recent issues and articles are visited, pinned to the top of your screen, and you can choose to pin it or to close the preview, and you can easily switch back and forth between the articles and issues you are working with now. This is actually it for YouTrack Lite preview. Hope teams will enjoy the choice between YouTrack Lite and YouTrack Classic, which will be available soon. And that's it for the main part of our demo today. So as you see, there is no need to adjust your process to fit YouTrack, and it's pretty much easy to adjust the YouTrack to fit and to follow your process. And while Anastasia is checking on the questions you have in our chat window, let's. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to remind you that everything we have showed you today is easy to be checked with our free version, which is available on our webpage jetbrains.com/YouTrack. And our free version allow you to use full functionality of YouTrack for a team of up to 10 users. And it's available in cloud and in standalone versions. And in cloud, it allows you to use up to 30 gigabyte of disk space. And actually, we provide support for both for our commercial customers and for customers using our free version. So feel free to contact the support with any questions you have along the way. And of course, follow us on Twitter because we are going to publish all the announcements. And of course, the announcement on YouTrack Lite release there. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can contact us directly, me or Anastasia. You see our emails on screen now. And that's actually it to get back to your questions. I see that we have a lot of them. Let's try to answer them one by one.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to share my screen to show some stuff like in real time. Okay, so the first question is, once a project is set up, how do I use the exact settings for another project? Okay, there are two options actually. The first one is you can clone a project. In this case, you will clone all its settings too. So there is a dedicated button to clone a project, and you will be able to reconfigure it later if needed. And another option is to turn your project into a custom project template. In this case, it will appear here as yet another template, and you will be able to create your new projects using this template. Yeah, okay. I'd like to mention that if you have any additional questions to what I'm telling now, please feel free to contact our support, and we'll be happy to describe it in details. The next question is it possible to set up a role that allows users to create issues of only certain types? I'm afraid it's not possible to do with a role because permissions cannot be regulated depending on the issue type, but it is possible to do it with the workflows. As I've already said, the workflows, they can do lots of stuff, and you can check. It's about issue creation. So you can trigger the rule on issue creation and check the selected issue type. And if this user is not allowed to create issues of such type, you can revert the transaction and show an error message with some description that you're not allowed to create issues with bug type. Please use task instead, like that. Yeah. The next question is, can issues be assigned to groups? There are two options. The first one is you can make the SNE value, the SNE field accept multi-values. I will show you how it works. In this case, you will be able to specify. Oh, come on. You will be able to specify several assignees, like that. Yeah, so if it suits you, you can use that. And besides that, you can change the assignee field type, so it will be not user, but group. It is possible to, I can show you, it's possible to create a field. Oops, a typo. One more typo. Okay, and you can select a group here. Yep. And let's check how it works. There was an office management project. Yeah, and you can select groups here. So if it suits you, then yeah, it is possible. The next question is, I need to make support documentation available to customers. some is specific for one customer and should not be publicly available. Is that possible without needing a license per customer employee? I'm afraid it's not possible at the moment because you can, if you allow anonymous access, then everyone can access this this documentation. But there are, first of all, we understand that actually this request is quite popular, and we have in our plans to allow retrieving a shareable link for an article, like it's done in Google Docs. So you will be able to share one article using a link in the future. And at the moment, what can you do? You can create a user account for your customer and provide all users from this company with the very same credentials. So they will waste only one license slot. Yeah, I think that's the only option for now. But yeah, thank you for your feedback. We have a corresponding feature in our backlog, and it's quite demandable. The next question is it possible to configure a group of product owners that can only manage the backlog and have read-only access to issues in the other stages? One option here is to use separate projects for storing your backlog and issues in other stages. So you will grant your product owners administrator or edit access for the backlog project and read-only access for the second project. Another option is to use workflows and to allow the product owners to edit issues only if they are in the backlog stages. And if issues already made it further, then they will not be allowed to edit issue and some descriptive message will appear. The next question is it possible to export a project from YouTrack standalone to YouTrack in cloud? How can I achieve it? Okay, so yeah, it's totally possible, and there are two options. The first one is, I believe the easiest one, is that you provide us with the backup, and we just copy the whole database to YouTrack in cloud. So you will receive a complete copy of what you had in standalone in your in cloud, and you will be able to clean up what you don't need there. In this case, you don't need to perform any additional actions, just to provide us with the explicit request to do it and with a backup. Yeah, and the second option is to export a separate project using our YouTrack to YouTrack import feature. For now, you can use our Python scripts to do that. So you just need to specify one command with credentials and project name, and it will import the whole project for you. But actually, we are now working on enhancing our imports feature. So it will provide a user interface soon, so you don't need to work with console. Sorry, and you just need to enter your credentials in YouTrack, and it will perform the import for you. I believe it will be available in one of the next major releases. So no exact estimations for now. So yeah, if you're okay with exporting the import whole database, please feel free to reach out our technical support, and we will do that for you. The next question is it possible to customize multiple fields to set the estimated time? For example, one field for testers and the other for developers. Okay, so I'd recommend to have separate fields for testers estimations and developer estimations. and have the third field that will be selected in your time tracking settings. I'll remind you where it is. So here you will have the third field that will calculate the overall estimation automatically using the workflow, and developers and testers will enter the estimations in the first two fields. Because time tracking can use only one field when we're talking about building a Burndown or some reports. So if you need your reports, you have to use one field here that will be a sum of all estimations done by different roles. Yeah, and we'd recommend to prohibit manual editing of this main estimation field in this case, to keep things consistent and not to lose your sum value. Okay, the next question is it possible to connect an external reporting system, for example, ELK? Yeah, it is, and well, it will require some manual work from you, because YouTrack is able to send HTTP requests using workflows, triggering on events or on some schedule, and on the ELK side, Logstash plugin can accept this data and do something further, like whatever you need, build some report. So you can, from YouTrack side, you can send data about issues, projects, users, comments, whatever is needed. So there will be kind of a self-made integration, but yes, it is possible. The next question is, I have a question. Can we change the email sending DNS to LAN network of my company's repository? Yeah, it is. For YouTrack in Cloud, a custom mail relay can be set up to forward all outgoing mail to. And actually, for in-cloud, there can be some tricky moments regarding LAN setup. So if you face them, please feel free to reach out our support, and we will provide you with details. Yeah. And actually, it is possible. It is also possible to configure a custom mail server for notifications if you need. Okay. The next question is: can we prioritize the sequence for epics and, based on priorities, automatically create personal queues for user stories for each developer, taking into account the main priorities? Yeah, you can create a saved search with the correct sorting, like display only user stories assigned to me, and sort them by priority. Then save the search and share it with the team. Yeah, and they will see it. If we got you wrong, please clarify the question, or just come to our support. The next question is it possible to extend the reports in some way, or have access to information on raw data to create a custom BI dashboard? There are two options to achieve that. It is possible to create a custom widget for YouTrack dashboard. I showed you dashboard. And yeah, and besides predefined widgets, it is possible to create your own widget, and there are plenty of them available in repository. So you can create your own custom widget that will have full access to YouTrack REST API, and using YouTrack REST API, you can fetch all information, all data you need, like about issues, comments, users, roles, projects, whatever you need to. So YouTrack REST API can fetch this data, and widget logic may process this data the way you need it and display it on the dashboard. The second option is to export some reports or issue lists to CSV or Excel, and then use some third-party tools to do what you need. If you have any questions or need additional details, please reach out to us. Okay, the next question is it possible to create different sets of fields for different types of tasks? Yes, it is possible. Different sets of fields for different types of tasks. Okay, I'll take a moment to think about it, and we'll get back to this question. The next question is per project or per user time definitions. For example, part-time users 1 day to 4 hours instead of 8 hours. Okay, what is meant here is a custom schedule for each user, like personal schedule regarding working days or working hours. For example, not everyone has 8 hours of working days. Some of teammates may have not full working day. It is not possible at the moment, but we have a corresponding feature request. I believe my colleagues will send it to the chat, and feel free to upvote it because it's also quite popular request. And we do have some plans in regards to redesigning our Gantt chart to allow personal capacities, and I believe we will address it someday. Is it possible to create custom fields for projects themselves, not the related issues? For example, we want to save the customer's responsible contact person in our project. There is no option to have custom fields per project, but actually you can use a custom field that will be not visible to anyone. That will not be visible to anyone and will be propagated to all issue. But of course, it's not very convenient as you have. Well, if it suits you, you can have this custom field that will store your customer responsible contact as a value, and you may hide it from everyone. So it will be available only for administrators, for example. But we have a corresponding feature request to allow custom fields for projects, and also please feel free to upvote it to increase its priority and to receive updates. Okay. Getting back to the question about different sets of fields of different types of tasks. I now got it. sorry for the delay. Yeah, it's totally possible using the conditional fields feature. And as you remember, I have shown you that some fields may be visible only when a type is set to a specific value. So so you can do it almost for every field, and that means you will have different set of fields for each issue type. And let's see how it works. Yeah, I'll show it once again. If I have task type, I have a set of field with the affected versions field. If I change it to bug, I will have fixed versions appear too. And if I change it to user story, I will have fixed versions and affected version disappeared, but story point field appeared instead. Okay, so yeah, so I believe I've answered all the questions we had. Let's wait for a couple of minutes if we have anything else. Lena, do you have any additional thoughts, or did I miss anything?
No, I think you are doing actually good. So let's wait for a couple of minutes for our audience, because we have some minutes more to answer to your questions, and yeah, and if everything is yeah, I see some questions coming. But anyway, if after our session anything else come to your mind, you please don't hesitate to contact our support anytime. And of course, if you have some extraordinary questions or thoughts, please share your thoughts with us via emails we showed you at the end of our official part of our demo.
Yeah, thank you. And we have one more question appeared. When you define fields in a project and use some standard fields used in other projects, is it possible to change the values in the fields without causing problems in other projects? Yeah, sure, it is possible. I can show you that let's take, priority. This field, as you can see, this field is used in 6 projects now. And if I edit it for all affected projects, I mean for all 6 projects, then each project will see these changes. But if I don't want to affect them, I can create an independent copy and edit the set of values as I want to, and other projects will not be affected. So I will have a separate set of fields for different projects. I can show you how it works. We have 2 our projects created today, and this is our type field for the office management project. You can see this set of values. And this is type field for the web development project, and it uses a complete different set. So yeah, it's totally possible. Besides that, right now we are going to release a feature that will allow you to even have different types of the same field name. So you will be able to have the very same field name in different projects that uses different types, or different settings like multi or single value setting. This is very convenient when, for example, one project wants to use multi assignee field and the second one wants to use a single value assignee, and it will be possible to achieve with one of the next releases. Yeah. Okay. So no more questions. Yeah, I'd like to second that we are always happy to help you in our support, and we support everyone. So if you have any questions, problems, concerns, whatever, please come to our technical support or reach us directly using emails Lena showed you. And yeah, we'll be happy to receive any feedback and to help you with your issues.
Okay, let's call it a day.
Lena, sorry, one more question appeared.
You got it.
Yeah, is there any REST API for querying the VCS changes attached to an issue? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is, and we have a documentation. Will I be able to show it here? And JetBrains. Yeah, I believe I will. Yeah, we have a documentation where our REST API is documented, so you can. Yeah, do you see my screen? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can refer to it and work with all entities you need. And I believe VCS changes should be. Yeah, they are not. But yeah, actually, they should be here. I may be missing them, and if you face any problems or questions, or if you're not able to fetch them, please come to our support, and we'll be happy to help. And yeah, one more thing is that in our documentation we have a page with REST API use cases, and there are some use cases described step by step to get you an example of how to use it. So yeah, in general, almost any operation that YouTrack does can be retrieved via REST API. So yeah, if we miss anything in our documentation, we'll be happy to add it. So please contact us. Okay. I believe that's not it's not a documented endpoint yet, but it will be in the future. And also, it is possible to access VCS changes in workflows. I've already showed it for pull requests, but of course you can do the same for commits. So a workflow can trigger on adding a commit or a pull request, and it has access to commit message, to pull request description, to number of files, that kind of stuff. And of course, you can do lots of things with via workflows later. Yeah, so probably we should wait for 1 more minute if we have any questions. Yeah, I believe we can move to our closing part.
Yeah. Okay. The closing part is only thanks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your interest in YouTrack, and thank you for staying with us for the whole hour and a half already. And yeah, and actually have a great experience with YouTrack, and have a good day today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your attention. Thank you for coming, and yeah, we hope you really like YouTrack and will be able to do anything you want to with YouTrack. Have a nice day. Thank you.